Every time you go to school, every time you work a 9 to 5 job, every time you trust a bank, a corporation, or a system, you are living inside a structure designed over 100 years ago. And at the center of that structure stood one man, John D. Rockefeller, not just the richest man in history, but the architect of the modern system itself. John Davison Rockefeller was born in 1839 into a poor family in New York. There was nothing royal about his birth, nothing powerful about his childhood. Yet by the early 1900s, he controlled more wealth than any human being before or after him. Adjusted for inflation, his fortune would be worth over $400 billion today. But money was only the beginning. Rockefeller believed in one thing above all else: control through efficiency. He was quiet, calculated, and emotionless. While other people chased risk, Rockefeller chased certainty. As a young bookkeeper, he meticulously tracked every single penny he earned or spent. To him, numbers were power, and systems were weapons. In the mid-1800s, oil was exploding onto the scene. Not for cars, but for lamps to light up the night. Most businessmen saw the oil rush as a wild gamble. Rockefeller saw it as an inevitability, so he made a genius move. Instead of drilling for oil, which was unpredictable, he focused on refining it, the boring, dirty middle step that everyone else ignored. By controlling the refining, the transportation, the storage, and eventually the pricing, Rockefeller didn't just join the oil industry, he slowly and methodically absorbed it. In 1870, he founded Standard Oil. What happened next would change capitalism forever. Rockefeller crushed his competitors, not with violence, but with math. He quietly negotiated secret, exclusive deals with the railroads. This meant lower shipping costs for his oil, and much higher costs for his rivals. If competitors refused to sell their companies to him, he would simply drop his prices so low that they went bankrupt. Then, he would buy their failing businesses for pennies on the dollar. By 1880, Standard Oil controlled a staggering 90% of America's oil. This wasn't just business anymore. This was a system of absolute dominance. To manage this empire, Rockefeller invented modern corporate structures, trusts, holding companies, and layers upon layers of ownership. These tools allowed his immense power to hide behind paperwork, making it nearly impossible to see who was really in charge. Governments struggled to regulate him because they didn't even fully understand what he had created. The modern corporation, the kind that exists all around us today, was born from Rockefeller's blueprint. But Rockefeller's ambition didn't stop with oil. He began to invest heavily in education. His goal wasn't to create brilliant thinkers, but to create efficient workers. Schools were redesigned to produce disciplined employees who were obedient, always on time, and trained to follow systems without question. This model of standardized education spread across America and then the world. In essence, education became standardized, just like oil. Later in his life, Rockefeller turned to philanthropy, donating billions of dollars to medicine, science, and universities. On the surface, it was an act of incredible generosity. But philanthropy offered him something else: influence without accountability. By funding these institutions, he could shape their research, their policies, and their priorities for generations to come. The system no longer needed him to be alive to guide it. It could now run itself. In 1911, in a famous antitrust case, the U.S. government finally broke up Standard Oil. People celebrated in the streets. They thought Rockefeller had lost. But he hadn't. The company was split into dozens of smaller companies. And because he owned shares in every single one of them, his personal wealth multiplied overnight. The system didn't break. It just adapted exactly as it was designed to. Today, you may not see Rockefeller's name everywhere, but you live inside his world. You see it in corporations that are bigger and more powerful than governments. You see it in an education system that prioritizes efficiency and standardization. You see it in a world where wealth is increasingly concentrated at the very top. Rockefeller proved one powerful thing: if you control the system, you never need to control the people directly. John D. Rockefeller didn't just become rich. He fundamentally changed how power works. He built a system so deeply embedded in our society that escaping it is almost impossible. And the most terrifying part? The system still works exactly as he designed it. Thanks for watching.